Okay, fine. So what we have discussed in the previous class, that the reversible heat engine will have the maximum efficiency, and we find that the Carnot cycle is one of the reversible cycle. So what are the steps of the Carnot cycle? There are four processes. The first one is the reversible isothermal heat addition, then reversible adiabatic expansion, then you have isothermal heat rejection, and reversible adiabatic compression. So basically what is happening, that if I show you that this is the process, the first process is 1 to 2, this is the heat addition process, then this is the expansion. So these two processes are essentially, because these two processes are essential because you need to convert heat into work. Okay, but you have to reject the heat to satisfy the Kelvin Planck statement, and finally there is a work, compression work, which is again completing the cycle and bring the system into the initial state. So that is the reversible Carnot cycle. Now from that we calculated the efficiency of the Carnot cycle. We calculated what is the heat input, that is basically equivalent to the work output. As it is isothermal, there is no change of internal energy. Whatever heat you are supplying, the whole heat is basically converted into work, and this work is isothermal expansion, PDV work. So it is, the expression will be something like this. Similarly, the compression work is, the heat rejection is basically the QL. Similarly, if it is isothermal heat rejection, you can find out the value of heat rejection is this. And also you can apply the polytropic expansion or the adiabatic expansion laws between these two processes and find out the relationship between temperature and volume. Similarly, the temperature and the volume. So finally, using these two, I can find out what is my efficiency, and the efficiency will come as something like this. Now I will define the temperature scale in such way that the Q out will be just proportional to TL and Q in will be just proportional to TH. That is this is coming from the definition of the temperature scale. That part you can read from the textbook. It is very much well written in the PK-NAG after the derivation of this Carnot cycle efficiency. So this part is very important. Please read this part from the textbook, how they have defined the absolute temperature scale based on the Carnot cycle. Okay, so now based on that we have defined the quality of the energy. We find out that the temperature of the source is extremely important, because as the temperature of the source increases, simultaneously the efficiency increases. Okay, so it is not about that how much quantity of heat, it's all about the quality of the heat. So if you have heat at very high temperature, it will always ensure a high efficiency. So as you are increasing the temperature source, the efficiency increases. That causes the quality of the energy increases. So that was the discussion that we have done in the last class. Now today we'll discuss something new, that is basically the concept of entropy. So what is that I will tell. So if I try to tell you that the thermodynamics basically a subject that deals with 3E. So this E, one is the energy, this one is the entropy. So what is entropy, that I will tell you. So before that, first we have to understand that the question is that two reversible adiabatic paths cannot intersect each other. Can we prove this? If you have two adiabatic curve, if I have two adiabatic curve, we have to prove that these two adiabatic curve will never intersect each other. How can I prove this? So suppose I will follow a contradiction approach. What is the approach? That this one is the first adiabatic curve, and This one is the second adiabatic curve. Now these two adiabatic curves are intersecting at the point C. So I am assuming that two reversible adiabatic paths are intersecting each other. This one is the first assumption. Now I will prove that this is not possible. From that, I will establish that the two reversible adiabatic paths cannot intersect each other. So that was the idea, the plan. So what is happening? So let's look into the diagram. So I have two adiabatic paths, this one and this one. So if they intersect, they will intersect at the point 3. Now, if I consider one isothermal line, if I consider one isothermal line, so it will create a cycle. So it is basically create a cycle, because if you consider one point, it will move from this point it can go there, and from there it can again come back to this point. So it will create a cycle. Now what is the specialty of this cycle? The specialty of the cycle is that in this cycle, this is an isothermal path, so it can absorb heat because it is not adiabatic, and this one is a expansion process because the volume is increasing, and this one is a compression process. And finally, due to this heat addition procedure, you are getting some area under the curve. So what is the meaning of this area under the curve? So what is the meaning of this area inside the curve? This is equivalent to what?
Work done.
Net
Net work
work.
done.
Very good. So excellent. So what is basically happening, that you are basically interacting with a single temperature source, and finally due to this you are getting a cycle which is basically producing a network. So this is not possible. Why? Because it is violating which statement? It is violating the Kelvin-Planck statement. So this proves that these two curves cannot intersect each other. If it intersect each other, it will violate the Kelvin-Planck statement. So that means we can say that two adiabatic reversible path cannot intersect each other. So that was the first point that I want to establish. So let's see. We will go to the next slide. Then I will explain why I did it. But we can conclude that two reversible adiabatic paths cannot intersect each other. That was the first statement. Now let's look into this. Suppose I have one process in a PV diagram, and the process is like this: I to F. So this is the initial point and this is the final point, and the system is moving from I to F following this path. So there are several intermediate points from which the process is starting from the point 1 and ending at the point F. Now what I am trying to do, I am considering one adiabatic path like this, another isothermal path like this, and another adiabatic path like this. So what is my statement? My statement is if I have any path in the PV diagram, I can replace the path by using two adiabatic and one isothermal line. How it is possible? I'm repeating it. So let's look into the initial diagram. Let's look into the mathematics. So initially this is my QIF. So if I consider this process, during this process I supplied some amount of heat. Due to this there is a change of internal energy and there is a work done. So what is this work done? Work done is basically this area under the diagram. Is it true? So this is the area under this diagram, because I know that work is my path function and U and F are my point function. So this one is understandable. So now here I am considering the path like this, IA BF. So this is the alternative path. Initially I told you a general path. This is the alternative path. In this alternative path, what is happening? QIBF, whatever heat you have supplied, you have to understand that you cannot supply heat during this process. Why? Why you cannot supply heat during this process?
Adiabatic process.
Very good. Similarly, you cannot supply heat during this part of the process. So you can only supply the heat during this part of the process. So, but still, as your initial point and the final points are same, the change of internal energy will be same. And remaining, there will be a work done. So what I can do, I can draw this isothermal line. I can draw this isothermal line like this, so that the area under this new curve, will be equal to the area under this curve will be equal to the initial curve, which was drawn at the initially. So basically what you are doing, whenever you are drawing this part of this line, you are losing this much amount of work, but simultaneously you are gaining this much amount of work. So I will draw this isothermal line so efficiently, so I can make this WIF equal to WIBF. So I am doing it because I'm trying to, what is my statement? My statement is that any process in the PV diagram can be replaced as a combination of three processes, one adiabatic, one isothermal, and another adiabatic. So I am designing this adiabatic, isothermal, adiabatic in such way so that that process can be replaced. Now the question is that process can be replaced. What do you mean by that? So I am defining that I will replace the process, but I will keep the work output during the process as same to the previous process. So I will replace the previous process in such a manner the new combination of that three process will give you the equal work output. তার মানে এই যে তিনটে প্রসেস আছে, এই তিনটে প্রসেসকে আমি এমন করেই ড্র করব যে এরিয়া আন্ডার দ্য কার্ভ, এই যে নতুন যে তিনটে প্রসেসের জন্য যা হবে আর ইনিশিয়াল প্রসেসটার জন্য যা ছিল, দে আর ইকুয়াল। সো দিস ইজ দ্য বেসিক আইডিয়া। সো ইফ দিস টু থিংস আর ইকুয়াল, if the work output of these two processes are equal, what will happen? So I can write down that QIF equal to QIBBF, because if these two are equal, these two are already equal, so this IF equal to IBF. So similarly, this QIABF can be written as IA plus QAB plus QBF. Now this QA is equal to 0 because adiabatic process, QBF equal to 0 because adiabatic process, so the heat supply will remain same. So finally what I can conclude that I can replace any process in the PV diagram by using a combination of three processes which will have one adiabatic, one isothermal, and another adiabatic in such a manner that so that the work transfer and the heat transfer during this process will remain same. Is it understandable? Shall I repeat it once, or I can't see the comments? You have to tell me.
Please repeat once again.
Okay, so suppose I told you at the beginning that if this is a PV diagram, so this is the initial point and this is the final point. Now, if I have a system, why these systems moves from the point A to point B? Because there are some unbalanced forces, or maybe unbalanced temperature, or maybe some driving force that causes this system to go from there to there. And finally we concluded that heat transfer and work transfer, these are the responsible cause of of any process. Whenever a system changes its state from 1 to 2, during that there will be a work transfer, there will be a heat transfer. Now, what I'm trying to say that this is the initial state, this is the final state. I can have one alternate path. Through this alternate path, the work transfer and the heat transfer will be same. And this alternate path is constituted by one adiabatic, one isothermal, and one another adiabatic line. So this is my statement. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So this is the statement of lossless.
স্যার
Yeah.
স্যার তার মানে একটা মানে দুটো স্টেটের মাঝখানে পুরো প্রসেসের কোয়াসিস্ট্যাটিক মানে প্রসেস হয়ে যদি যায়, কিন্তু এই ইকুইলিব্রিয়াম পজিশন গুলো আলাদা আলাদা হয়ে যাবে শুধু প্রসেসটা,
ঠিক ঠিক
বাকি সব সেম থাকবে।
ঠিক ঠিক এক্স্যাক্টলি।
কারণ
সো
যদি নেট হিট ট্রান্সফার আর ওয়ার্ক ডান সেম থাকে তো ইন্টারনাল এনার্জি চেঞ্জটা মানে এমনিতেও তো দুটো স্টেটের মধ্যে তো
ঠিক।
ইন্টারনাল এনার্জি। আচ্ছা
ঠিক।
ঠিক আছে।
because internal energy is a point function, as you correctly pointed out, internal energy is a point function, it will not depend upon the intermediate points. But he raised a very good point that, sir, you are removing this path by this path, but still you are missing these intermediate points. Yeah, I am accepting, I am not following these intermediate points, but I am following a different set of intermediate points in a such manner that the heat transfer during this 1 to F and the heat transfer from IABF, these two remain equal. The work transfer during I to F and heat transfer during IABF will remain same. So I cannot make it exactly equal, but somehow I try to keep this global quantity, this QA, Q and W will be same with the previous process. So আমি যেটা করেছি যে আমি ইন্টারমিডিয়েট পয়েন্টগুলোকে সেম রাখতে পারবো না, তা সত্ত্বেও আমি অ্যাটলিস্ট কিউটাকে আর ডাব্লুটাকে সেম রেখে বলছি যে এই দুটো প্রসেস মোটামুটি একই রকম, এইরকম একটা আমি দাবি দিচ্ছি।
স্যার তো এটার কোনো ফিজিক্যাল এক্সাম্পল হয় মানে যেটার সব কোয়ান্টিটি সেম, এরকম ফিজিক্যাল কোয়ান্টিটি মানে কোয়ান্টিটি গুলো, কিন্তু প্রসেসটা আলাদা, মানে এটা তো তাই হচ্ছে, সবকটা জিনিসই সেম হচ্ছে কিন্তু প্রসেসটা আলাদা।
প্রসেসটা পাথটা আলাদা হচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ পাত্রা আলাদা, তো এটা ফিজিক্যাল এক্সাম্পল কিছু হতে পারে মানে আমরা জানি।
একটু ভেবে বলতে হবে, মানে মানে এরকম করে ভাবতে পারো যে সাপোজ তোমাকে যাদবপুর থেকে রুবি পৌঁছাতে হবে, তো তুমি যেটা করলে যে সন্তোষপুরের রাস্তাটা নিলে, সন্তোষপুরের রাস্তাটা খুব জ্যাম থাকে, ফলে কিন্তু রাস্তাটা খুব শর্ট, তো তুমি সন্তোষপুরের রাস্তাটা দিয়ে রুবি পৌঁছালে তোমার লাগলো হচ্ছে 1 ঘন্টা বা হাফ অ্যান আওয়ার। কিন্তু তুমি যদি গড়িয়াহাট হয়ে রুবি পৌঁছাও তাহলে হয়তো তোমার সময়টা অনেক বেশি লাগবে। তুমি কি করলে, বাইকের স্পিডটা বাড়িয়ে দিলে যাতে তুমি সময়টা সেম রাখতে পারো। এই যে সময়টা, দিস ইজ ইকুইভ্যালেন্ট টু ওয়ার্ক অর মেবি হিট ট্রান্সফার। সো আই এম অ্যাডজাস্টিং দিস আইসোথার্মাল লাইন। what I am doing, basically I am adjusting this isothermal line in a such way so that this work and heat transfer can be equal. এই টিউনিংটা আমার কাছে রয়েছে, this is my tuning parameter. I can choose a different isothermal line, I can choose another different isothermal line, but I will choose my isothermal line in a such a manner so that the work transfer and the heat transfer, these two quantity will be equal. আপাতত এইটুকু বুঝলেই হবে, বাকিটা আস্তে আস্তে বলতে বলতে যাচ্ছি। Why I need this small hypotheses? সবার ফার্স্টে আমি কি বললাম যে টু আইসোথার্মাল লাইন উইল নেভার ইন্টারসেক্ট ইচ আদার। তারপরে বললাম হচ্ছে যে এই দুটো লাইন আমি যে কোনো প্রসেসকে আমি দুটো একটা আইসোথার্মাল এবং দুটো অ্যাডিয়াবেটিক পাথের কম্বিনেশন দিয়ে রিপ্লেস করতে পারি। নাও লেটস লুক ইনটু দিস। সাপোজ দিস ইজ দ্য মোস্ট ক্রুশিয়াল ওয়ান। Suppose I have one cyclic process. So this is my cyclic process. So this cyclic process can be fragmented into small processes like this, like this, like this. These are my small processes. So this is one process. This is another process. This is another process. This is another process. This is another process. So what I'm doing, I'm segmenting the whole cycle into small processes. And after that, each processes is being replaced by 2 adiabatic process and 1 isothermal process, following the previous hypothesis. Is it okay? So just like that, just you consider this process. Suppose you consider this process. Initially the process was like this. This is the initial point and this is the final point. So what you have done, you have considered 1, 2, 3. So by this 3 process, you are reaching to the same point, but you are replacing this random process by 2 known processes. So if I can do this for each part, so what I can finally show that I can consider that each of the cycle is basically, the whole cycle is basically consisted of a series of what? What is this cycle? 2 adiabatic, 2 Carnot cycle.
Carnot
So
cycle.
I can, if I have one complete cycle, any cycle, I can consider this. This is basically nothing but the combination of several Carnot cycle. So any cycle is basically can be considered as combination of several Carnot cycle. Is it okay? Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Shall I repeat? Okay. So basically what I have done that my Carnot, any cyclic process can be considered as summation of several Carnot cycles. Now, what is the benefit of this? Because I know for Carnot cycle, this is valid. How this is valid? Because I know that my dq by dq equal to T2 by T1. This one I have derived when I was considered the Carnot efficiency. Can you remember? So I can write down for every cycle, this equal to this. For every cycles, those small Carnot cycle. Now, if this is Q rejection, so if I consider this as negative, so this negative, if I consider this as a negative, if I take a side change, it will be positive. So it is applicable for each cycle. It is applicable for each cycle. So if I sum up all those elemental Carnot cycle, so finally I will get a equation like this. This is valid for any Carnot cycle. I derived it because for Carnot cycle my efficiency was this. Can you remember this formula? Can you remember this part? So if it is valid, so Q out by Q in equal to TL by TH. So I can write down Q out by TL equal to T in by Q in by TH. So similarly, I have written it here that Q1 by T1 equal to dQ by P2. After that, if I consider that heat supply is a positive, then heat rejection will be negative. So it is a rejected heat. So if I consider the minus sign, I can take it in this side. So this is the summation of this. So if I apply for all other cycles, because there are several cycles, this is the 1 cycle, this is a 2 cycle, 3 cycle, 4 cycle. So for each cycle, it will look like this. So finally, I can represent this, that cyclic integral of dQ by T equal to 0. So this is called Clausius equality. Is it okay? কোন জায়গাটা চাপ হলো?
Yes.
Is it okay?
স্যার এই আগের ওই গ্রাফটা কিভাবে কার্নট সাইকেলে ভাঙছি একবার ছোট করে বলতে পারেন?
So for that you have to understand this. If you have any process, this any process can be, if you consider this is, suppose if you consider this is the one process, this process can be drawn like this. So similarly, if we have a cycle, so for each part of the cycle you can draw one adiabatic, one isothermal, one adiabatic. Similarly, for if you have this part also you can draw it like this. This is one part, so it is isothermal, adiabatic, isothermal, adiabatic. So for each part each part of the process you can fragment into several. Suppose this is one process, this process can be replaced by this. Now this is isothermal and also this part is isothermal. So this whole is creating a cycle where you have two isothermal process and two adiabatic process. So you got your Carnot cycle. In the Carnot cycle, what you have? Adiabatic, isothermal, adiabatic, isothermal. So you got your cycle here. So this is the Carnot cycle. Now for the Carnot cycle, you have a heat injection and you have a heat rejection. So your Q in by T1 equal to Q2 by T2 is valid there. So I am applying this here for this cycle. Simultaneously, there is one isothermal process and similarly there is one isothermal process. These two will create another Carnot cycle. In this Carnot cycle, there will be heat addition and heat rejection because other two processes are adiabatic. So in these two other processes, there is no heat transfer. So only heat transfer is happening here and here. Is it okay? So if it is so, so what I can write that there will be a heat transfer. So that heat transfer will follow this rule. So if I apply it for each and every cycle, if I apply it for this cycle, this cycle, this cycle, every cycle, I can sum up this and finally I can write it like this. And this can be written as cyclic integral of dq by t equal to 0. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
বাকিরা বুঝতে পারছে? দু একজন কি হ্যাঁ বলবে?
Yes, sir.
The name
Yes,
of
sir.
the name of the chapter is entropy. So what we are trying to do, first we will try to understand entropy in a mathematical way. In the next class, I will explain the physical meaning of entropy. So first you consider that entropy is nothing, a mathematical quantity. So every time I will propose some mathematical statement. If the previous mathematical statement is true, then the next one is true. So just like that way, I am trying to prove these statements. So first I prove that two adiabatic line cannot intersect. Then I prove that I can replace any line by three processes. Now I am trying to say that any cycle can be fragmented into several Carnot cycles. This is true if the previous one is true. Now I am proving that the cyclic integral of dq by t equal to 0. Now the question is that whenever you see cyclic integral of any parameter equal to 0, what is the physical meaning of that?
That is a property.
Exactly. Excellent. So that is the statement. The statement is, if cyclic integral of dq by t equal to 0, that means I2, if I go from the point I to F through the path R1, then I again return back to the initial state by the path R2. During this whole cycle, my change of dq by t equal to 0. So if I fragment it, I to F, F to I, so it will be 0. Now if I take a side change, it will be I to F and F to I. Now I can absorb this minus sign by simply applying the definite integral formula, simply switching the limits. So from that I can find out that if I follow from the path R1 to go F, the change of dq by t, and if I go from I to F by following the path R2, the dq by t change is same. Just like what happens to your internal energy. Can you remember the formula? That in the internal energy, the dq minus dw, the change, if we follow any path, the internal energy change remains same. So similarly, here also I proved that the dq by t cyclic integral equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, whatever path I follow, the change of dq by t equal. This tells us that the dq by t must be a property. Otherwise, it cannot happen. So this gives me a birth of new property. This property is called entropy. So I can write down that my entropy equal to q by t. Now if we try to relate this to your class 12 physics, now if we try to relate this to your class 12 physics or maybe class 12 chemistry, where you have directly considered that entropy equal to q by t. Now here I am mathematically proving that the dq by t equal to 0. How this dq by dt is coming? It is coming from the second law, because second law is giving you this mathematical definition that q out by q in equal to TL by T in. So if it is true, then I can prove this equal to true. If this is true, then I can get a new property where the dq by t remain constant whatever path I follow. So this is the mathematical definition of entropy. Have you got the point?
Yes, sir.
So this much is for today. So this is the mathematical definition of dq by t. If you read this part, we can have a class on Monday or maybe Sunday. So from where I will conclude the total discussion of the entropy. But in between you have to read. Otherwise, from next class it will be difficult, because whatever you are reading from the beginning of the course, that was almost familiar to you. But here we are entering into some critical concepts. So for that, it is better that if you read the whole this part from the PK Nag just by today or tomorrow, then we can have a class on Sunday. In the Sunday we can discuss the remaining part of the syllabus. Any doubt up to this much? Any doubt up to this much? Any doubt up to this much? If you have no doubt, I can stop the class and we can meet in the next class.